Today's Walkabout Mini Golf release features a brand new update which is completely free and brings a couple of fantastic new features. The first of these is a remaster of the much-loved Cherry Blossom course to bring it up to standard with some of the newer releases, but we'll come to that later in the video, as the even bigger news yet is that Walkabout now has some all-new game modes available. Those familiar with the traditional golf scoring system will know that Walkabout currently utilises what's known as stroke play scoring, meaning that each shot you take is counted and the winner is the player with the least shots taken at the end. A popular multiplayer alternative to this scoring mode is known as match play, which this update introduces and is only available in multiplayer. In match play scoring, the score is awarded based on the winner of the hole, rather than the total shots in a round. This can be a great head-to-head mode, allowing for more tactical shot choices depending on how your opponent is doing. It's also much more forgiving if you have a complete meltdown on a hole, as you'll only lose that point and will carry nothing onwards with you except perhaps a little lingering shame. In tackling the introduction of match play, Mighty Coconut wanted to preserve the ability to host larger multiplayer rooms, and so have modified the traditional scoring model slightly. If two players are competing and tie a hole, rather than scoring a half point, both will score a full point for that hole, but this doesn't have any impact on the final 2v2 score comparison. When rooms are host to more than two players, a point is awarded to all players who tie the highest score, meaning that if you informally arrange teams, you may still need to keep tabs of how the points are awarded, as the game won't know which players are paired up. Another modification is that in traditional match play, the round ends when one player is no longer able to catch up to the leader. But Walkabout recognises that many will still want to complete the round for the sightseeing alone, and lets you play through to the end. This has been a much requested feature and I'm sure will be welcome news for both social and competitive players. The next new mode is one I've personally been looking forward to for some time, and that is race mode. A couple of years ago I tried to create this in practice mode and found it to be one of the most enjoyable multiplayer formats I've ever played, and now it's here officially. Race mode can be played as single or multiplayer, and instead of counting the number of shots taken, or the winner of each hole, it is just the time taken to complete the course that counts. After selecting race mode, you'll be positioned at the start of the course with a countdown timer, and when it reaches 0, it is a race to the finish. Everyone plays simultaneously, so not only can it become quite chaotic with shots flying around, it also keeps the urgency and pressure on you to constantly try to stay ahead of those around you. One quick note on this is that there are still no ball collisions, so hitting your ball into an opponent's won't do anything to the path of either ball, meaning you still have only yourself to blame for missing the shot. The current race leader is shown to you on the wrist display along with your running time so far. Each hole time is also recorded on the scoreboard in seconds, so you can see which were your most costly holes, while the final score goes right down to milliseconds to help settle those photo finish debates. This mode also cuts the average round time down to around or below 5 minutes, meaning a group of players can complete a good chunk of courses within an hour. As a single player mode, this will be welcomed by the speedrunning community and poses another set of personal best targets to work towards. Next, we have some modifications to the turn sequences available. The first I'll cover is simultaneous play, as this is mechanically similar to race mode. Here, once again, all players can hit at the same time and at their own pace, and will help speed multiplayer rounds along. If you are using this mode, I'd still recommend sticking to one hole at a time for everyone, otherwise it can lose some of the joy of multiplayer, and it's probably best to agree whether it's a free-for-all or whether you tee off in sequence and then finish the hole at your own pace. Once again, ball collisions are not on, so the balls just pass through one another without impact. Finally, we see the introduction of the remaining 2 turn sequence options. Traditionally, Walkabout is played with what's known as honours system, meaning the winner of the previous hole goes first on the next hole. You can now change to consistent mode, meaning whichever sequence the players join the room in remains the playing order throughout the round, which can be good for offering pointers and for learning shot lines. The other new sequence is distance, which, similar to real golf, means that after teeing off, the player furthest from the hole takes their shot first. This is drawn as a straight line in Walkabout though, so regardless of obstacles in the way, the physically furthest ball has the first hitting honours. All of these mode and turn sequences can be configured using the new custom round options, where you can select the scoring style, turn order, and front 9, back 9, or a full round. The other big update, as mentioned at the beginning, is the remastering of the already stunning course Cherry Blossom. This follows Tourist Trap as one of the OG courses to have been given a makeover, and takes it from Zen to 11 by establishing the 4 noble truths of Walkabout. The truth of missed putts, the truth of the cause of missed putts, which is someone else's fault, the truth of the end of missed putts, which is the stroke limit function, and finally the truth of the path that leads to the end of missed putts, which is practice mode. While keeping the holes playing the same, the surrounding area has been refreshed with greater details, more polish, and a refined finish that helps it sit visually alongside some of the newer releases. For those who already love Cherry Blossom, there is certainly nothing taken away, but instead it's like revisiting a town you haven't been to for a while and really liking what they've done with the place. There are new creatures, pathways, beautiful viewing spots, character-rich areas, and of course, in case anyone still believes me, the trademark playable instruments to interact with. All in, the release update shows Mighty Coconut's commitment to maintaining and improving Walkabout as an experience for all, and offers new ways to play both competitively, socially, and alone. I do hope you enjoy the new features, as I know these have been highly requested by the player base, and Mighty Coconut have long made a promise to add this functionality when they could do it in the right way for Walkabout, and that is certainly delivered here. If you found this overview helpful, please do like the video to show support. Let me know your thoughts on the release below in the comments. I do read every comment, even if I struggle to respond to them all. And finally, if you haven't already, please consider joining the near 10,000 strong group of subscribers to the channel to stay informed of future content and updates. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you out on the course.